Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Foundry. I'm JB here with Kryptonic Kid and Sly Kiko, and today we're reviewing some more of the Mandalorian. Welcome to Chapter 21, the Pirate Boys. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great,
good.
dude.
I'm
Let's get
really
into it.
I'm really excited to talk about this episode. I've been sitting here for a minute with you guys. I want to start back. I just want to dump all this information. I'm super. I like this episode a lot. You know, I don't have a lot of other like decent things to say about the season so far, but like this one I enjoyed like quite a bit. I really liked it. I feel like there's direction. I just liked it. There was good action in this episode too, which like it's not very like necessary for the show, but it's something I do want to see, especially when majority of your characters are covered in armor and guns. I'd say most of the fucking time, so you kind of expect some action.
Yes, it's a good mix. I think it had a good mix of like it had some stakes. Some shit was going down.
They were all well
had
done.
Some action.
Disgusting.
They had some cameos. They had some politics. Like
Good one.
They
good
had
one.
the sea monster thingy.
Are you talking about
Oh, the
Swamp Thing?
space kraken?
Swap thing. Yes, with the teeth and everything. Like it was.
Oh right, yeah. No, he had the perfect fucking teeth. I forgot about that.
It's kind of weird.
We had Tim
I had the
Meadows.
space Invisalign. Yeah.
Yeah, it was I really liked this episode, except for like one thing that really got me like really frustrated and just angry was when our captain from the New Republic, who has like been in the show before, who's like you've seen him like do the patrols and stuff like that, the older guy.
Yep. Yeah.
How he went to go talk to the colonel in Coruscant. How that one chick we saw in chapter 19, I believe, how she was there by coincidence and was like trying to throw and derail like conversations and stuff like that, and I was just like, what the fuck is the point of this, and how is she here right now?
I mean, it definitely raises some red flags. Like, there's clearly an ulterior motive. Like, we can already tell she's got something weird going on, and her vibe is just like she's trying to do something here, and I mean, I give her props. She does a great job of pissing me off because just hearing her character talk, I'm like, shut up. You're such an ass.
I was like, all right, yeah, something's going on here, but at the same time, I was like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Why, like, I didn't really understand it.
It was kind of random. Like,
yeah, it was very random.
Really? Like, of all places? Like, well, I guess we do know that she's on Coruscant because the last time we saw her, she was with that other dude, and they were on Coruscant in the amnesty program or whatever.
Exactly.
And we got a hint of her working, like, being one of the good ones, so to speak, and like working with the New Republic and everything. But like, of all the places at that exact time, like, I don't know. It felt a little off for sure. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
I feel like with this show so far, I feel like they're representing the New Republic as a bunch of fucking morons too. Every time we see them, they are just bumbling like idiots, which
Kind of dropping the ball left and right. Yep.
yeah, and they're like, oh, here's a character, let's fucking scramble his brains. Oh, what's that? You want to sit in here with them and definitely not tamper with it? Sounds good. See you later. Here's some crackers. Like, all right, cool.
I think my issue is with like how easily they're just trying to like play them off as like naive, very naive, and like, oh, like this is the reason why like the Empire kind of had this resurgence was because the New Republic was kind of lulled into like this false sense of security. I'm like, no, dude, they just seem to be fucking stupid. Like that's the way you're writing them. They're just cutting corners. They're just, I don't know. There's no logic behind any of the decisions they make. And I think it's just for the sake of poor storytelling. Yeah, it's very convenient.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that convenient too. Yeah, the episode we got to see a little bit of Navarro, which I enjoyed. I like Navarro. I think the set is very pretty and nice. I like the city. It's good shit.
They've really built it up.
Yeah.
One thing I did like just before that whole Coruscant stuff was like I mentioned a bit earlier, we did get a cool cameo. We got Zeb from the Rebels animated show. Alien dude. That
I was gonna ask about that because
Yeah.
I have yet to see Rebels, which I might have to very soon because of a new show coming out. That I actually have not checked out. But yeah, I was gonna say that guy looked familiar when I was watching it, and definitely not driving home. That I totally was paying attention to. I did like that scene, kind of like of them hanging out in the hangars and stuff like that, shooting pool. Kind of reminded me of like World War I, like how like they'd be like on the lines and stuff like that, and just kind of, you know, just hanging out and stuff.
It was realistic. Like, it made sense. And
I'm happy
I
with
thought the
their
cameo was
design
good.
for him as well. He
Yeah,
looked really good, especially
looked-
because like I think of like Fallen Order, like the Jedi Master in that one. Like, direct inspiration. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it was pretty good. What'd you guys think of the Mandalorian, like the Mandalorians fight scene, plural? Them fighting with the pirates and shooting each other and everything like that,
yeah.
and the armor like doing some hammer time shit.
I thought it was all pretty good. I thought I really liked the flying combat the most, to be honest, because like him taking on all those fighters, flying around and be like, I like those odds, that sort of shit.
Yeah, I
and
like that callback.
And and then like, you know, getting the ship to like fly away and follow him, and then having Bo-Katan with her ship coming in and helping out and all that shit. I thought that was great. I enjoyed all that combat because I thought that all made sense. Some of the on the street combat I thought was a little bit like awkward to some degree.
Random.
Like they got pinned down. Oh, they got surrounded somehow. Like, why did you land here and then like get surrounded? Like, you could have landed somewhere else more advantageous, like high up. You have jetpacks. Like,
this might just be me, but I look at the Mandalorians like I look at Predator. It's supposed to be this lone wolf that, especially if they're in a pack, they should be able to absolutely rinse anybody because they should be tactically more skilled. They have freaking armor that's, pretty much impenetrable.
Exactly.
And then they're armed to the teeth with weapons, and they know combat better than anyone else. It's literally their religion. So they should be able to just decimate anybody in a matter of minutes. But here they kind of look like cannon fodder until Paz Vizsla rolls up and is like, I'm going to lay down some cover fire, dude. I was like, okay.
It was pretty badass.
It was, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, come on, they're pirates. they're like second-rate pirates.
And most of them on the floor are drunk, like on the ground.
Yeah.
It was really funny at the one point where Mando was just, like at the campfire with the stick and speaking his piece, and then Paz Vizsla grabs like the stick from him and he's like talks his piece, and I thought he was gonna speak against him, and he started making so many points, and then he's like, I think we should help him. And it's like, really? Because you brought up a lot of good points where we shouldn't help him before you said that. I thought that was kind of funny.
It was kind of some weird little misdirect. I don't know what to think of that one, honestly.
Yeah.
It was a little unnecessary, but like it was cool to see him like turn around. And
is this filmed in front of the live studio audience? Is that what the fuck like they're doing most of the time? They're just trying to get like people like just most of the time.
It's actually the same people watching it as WandaVision in the front.
That's fucking funny. Because they ain't making the show for us. No, I'm just kidding.
One thing that threw me off about this though is that
it was good.
No. That is funny, but the fact that they had like everyone in the town gathered together, and it's like 36 people. It's like that's it.
Nobody.
That's the entire town. Yeah. Like
there's definitely more people. One bartender that they decided to keep in the town.
Yeah, like you have a bunch of adults. Where are all the kids? Because you have a school. I know you have a school because that was a whole plot line.
Yup.
Like it felt a little awkward when they were all like stranded out there.
Evacuate, and they're just like in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm like, what the heck?
This is it? You guys evacuated to a cave. Makes sense. Sure, safety. But there should be like way more of you because it's an entire town that you've apparently built up.
I would have preferred they were held hostage than they kind of
or like they had
away.
Some kind of bunker or bombing bunker to hide in or something like that.
Yeah.
Because then you got the Mandalorians coming in to clear house versus like, here, we're going to kick them off the premises. But, oh, by the way, you guys are totally not sitting targets outside as this giant freaking frigate over you. Like, okay, well, that makes sense.
Dude, when they're shooting that down, I totally thought that was just going to crash and destroy their city.
Ditto.
I was like, oh, no.
I was like, dude, the town's about to get
That's what I would have done as the pirate. Like, we're going down on them motherfuckers. That's what I would have been doing.
Yeah. We're going down.
I totally thought that was just going to crash.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
I was like, oh, no.
Would have been way cooler.
And then I was like really worried at the end where Paz Vizsla goes up to Bo-Katan. He's like, the armor wants to see you, and I thought she's gonna be like, go get the Darksaber. We're taking this planet as Mandalore 2.0. I was like, no, fuck, dude. Like
You're
they're like
ready for a double cross.
That's what I was waiting for. I don't trust the armor. I don't fucking trust her after the. I don't know. It feels a little shady this episode.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
don't know why. It's not like she's done anything bad. I just got a weird bad feeling, about everything. I thought when they were walking out after the conversation, or them speaking at the Old Forge, I thought she was going to go challenging for the Darksaber straight up.
Oh.
Yeah, she does give weird vibes sometimes. Like she's like weirdly mysterious for no reason, and like it was weird when she said, "Take off your helmet." It's like,
What she's like, she takes
What?
off like, I got you fucking idiot. Go back to
I was
Mandalore,
waiting
you
for
little
that.
fuck.
I was waiting for her to be like, "You would dare listen to me?" But I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
like
she's just trying to
five-
like. I thought she was trying to like totally like get her to like win over like the whole planet or whatever, and then just steal that away from her because like oh, this is not the way you took off your helmet, you scrub. But
Can you
no, instead
imagine?
she's like, "Oh no, I want her to." Kind of want her to indoctrinate some other fools for us, and it's like, oh, okay, that's
Like, cool, you just
okay.
like fucking ruined like 3 episodes that we just did prior, but okay.
I know,
whatever.
yeah.
What you
Din's
gonna
over
do?
here like I took a bath for nothing, dude.
I know.
it's like, come on.
I'm so happy by the end of this episode of like we're gonna take. I was actually thinking that too. I was like, why don't they just go to Mandalore? Like the place is fucking clear. Like why don't they just live there then? Again.
Yeah,
That's what I was
seriously.
thinking. And then they're like, we're gonna take Mandalore, and I was like, yeah, dude. Like fuck yeah. Like I'm really excited and hyped up by the end of the episode. I feel like I had a direction. I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen next, and I'm kind of like anxious to see the conflict with the armor and perhaps maybe Bo-Katan and the Mando. Maybe like the armor is gonna be in her like ear, kind of whispering some secrets and some poison.
Secret.
I know, and
They even
especially
have a little cliffhanger at the end.
yeah, the like almost after credits kind of thing.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah, that was a weird
Like they're
scene.
like, oh, dude, the ship's been destroyed. Oh, Moff Gideon never went to trial. What's that in the freaking ship? Oh, that's Beskar. Oh, like, does that mean are they like trying to hint that like the Mandalorians have been set up to be, or it's like it could be a couple things. Like either he's like, oh, that means the Mandalorians broke him out, or like somebody
Sasha
placed
Banks.
this here to incriminate the Mandalorians as
Yeah.
doing this or something. Like it's weird. Like I was like, that's a weird thing to end on.
Yeah, it's very weird. A lot of directions for us to head to after this. Is that maybe Bo-Katan's gonna reach the people or meet up with the Mandalorians that have left the Beskar evidence. Maybe they were planted by people. Maybe it
True.
was the armor and her people. Like it could go a lot
There's
of
a lot
ways
of
right now. Yeah, a lot of possibilities right now. And
Sometimes I wish that the show was just, all 8 episodes at once. That way these misdirects would be better placed.
Yeah.
I feel like they have too many unintentional misdirects. And it's like, that's not what you should be wanting to do. You shouldn't want to confuse people. You should want to, maybe surprise them. But no.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, based on what's happened already, like you're saying, it could be a misdirect. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like it's
I'm-
hard to tell.
I'm really excited to see like what's gonna happen next. I'm just really interested to see where it's gonna go and like where I'm pretty excited about it. I say this was probably my favorite episode of the season so far. Everything else has been very so-so, and I've talked a lot of shit on it. But I'd say like the only weird problem I had with this episode was the one chick on Coruscant who was like, hey, I'm an Imperial. Also, how are you going to have a bunch of turncoats and you're going to label them and, like, also treat them the same as you, but you're going to specifically categorize them and label them to make sure that you know that they're also part Imperial or part of the Empire
Right.
as well. Like, that's also pretty fucking stupid. Just saying.
Flawed
Yeah.
system.
Yeah,
Very
wild.
interesting.
Just, yeah. And for the lieutenant to be like, oh, you're an Imperial. And it's like, why would you even have a label on them to begin with? Like, I feel like that's just going to create conflict in the workplace, you fucking morons. Trust me, I know about conflict in the workplace, brother. Also, the
Trust.
practical effects with the aliens, like, all over the... Oh, it was great, dude. I love it.
Yeah, I thought for the most part they were pretty good, except for the Swamp Thing. But
Yeah, Swamp Thing sucked. Not great.
Swamp Thing was the worst part about it, yeah. Agreed.
all the
Swamp
other
Thing.
ones I thought were pretty solid, though. I do agree with you. All the other aliens looked pretty damn good.
I liked seeing Bo-Katan. She was like giving out the military plan. She was like using the strategy. I wish the Mandalorians on the ground were actually using that strategy that she was trying to lay out for them. Also, Mando is like has been completely fucking sidelining this show. Unfortunately, feel like he is
Yes.
barely in it.
It's about the Mandalorians now.
Yeah, I don't
They
give a fuck
should
about
change
none
the
of that.
title of the show then, because the problem is it's called The Mandalorian, and I
go-
think, this show is no longer about Din Djarin, and my issue here is I can live with the fact that he's getting sidelined as long as they make a point about it. Like maybe okay, like for some odd reason, he's kind of getting pushed to the side, even though son of a bitch owns the Darksaber right now. So it's like, okay, why
Which
are
they have
you
not seen like all fucking season.
right?
True.
Very rare.
True.
That's the issue I'm having right now. I feel like for once Dave Filoni's doing some weird shit here, and I know there's going to be some different reason for it at the very end, but I want it to have significance for the character that we've all grown attached to. Because what if by the end of this season, what if they just say we're going to kill him off? What if?
No.
I wouldn't be surprised. I might be ready for it if we keep getting episodes like the first like 3 that we had or 4 we've had this season. If we keep getting those episodes, I'm not going to care about it. But if things pick up, then I will. But they may make me not care. We'll see.
I
get
not
that
give a
logic.
shit.
I get that. I might not be hurt. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. We might get some painful unravel and some distance between us and shit like that. Might start seeing other shows. I don't know.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel if that happened. I hope not, but I guess we'll see. We still have a few more episodes left, don't we? So.
I kind of doubt it because there is no risk behind this show at all. So
See, it's like I was saying earlier. There's just not enough
that
stakes.
was hilarious. How there was like 10 Mandalorians outside, like facing off against the pilot, and I'm like, they have so much fucking armor, and he's got nothing. Like he's wearing a jumpsuit. You fucking idiots! And they're like, oh god, he's gonna draw a gun. Oh fuck! And it's like you're wearing so much fucking armor on you, literally, and you've got so much fucking plot armor on you guys too. A child was swallowed by a dragon for fucking 2 whole days, and there was not a lick on him. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
on.
Like, don't, like, unkillable they are.
Yeah, also killable with blaster balls.
Yeah, the right
I'm
moment.
yet to see it, man.
If you get the shorts, if you get his like his pants, his little joggers.
Need I
his
remind
pajamas.
you guys, season 1 when they show all those Mandalorian helmets, we never saw an on-screen Mandalorian death.
That's true. Maybe they just
remind yourselves of that. They have yet to show us a Mandalorian die on screen because they have to scratch their heads and be like, now how would this happen?
How would they die?
Yeah, they've got armor. Shit.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well,
Disappointing.
Yeah. We had a couple questions I thought about bringing up in case you guys wanted to address on the last episode. I'm gonna bring them up real quickly. I thought about it, and I was like, it's good because you guys are very knowledgeable about your Star Wars stuff, and if people are watching, Google is just a click away, but it's much easier for these guys just to feed you some answers. There was one question I thought that was kind of interesting. Let me see where it was. It was about Jar Jar, I believe, after Order 66. They were curious what happened to him.
we don't know.
You guys don't know?
I don't think there's any canon.
There is lore in comics of like what happens to Jar Jar, but in like the films, there's nothing that's really foreshadowed. And then even if you watch The Bad Batch, to this day they haven't shown Jar Jar again. They've shown other characters like Senator Chuchi or whatever the fuck, Bail Organa, but they never show Jar Jar. So it's assumed that after Padme's death, he just kind of, I don't know, he becomes irrelevant. But then again, like democracy kind of falls apart too. So
there were some theories that I saw that Naboo fighter that they escaped in when getting Grogu was either Jar Jar's or somehow related to that, and like he was one of the folks helping escort people away somehow. There's literally nothing to
Jar
support
Jar
that.
in the Underground Railroad, dude. Holy shit. I didn't even think about that. Oh, man.
I saw some theories about it. It seemed pretty interesting. I didn't see anything factual in the episode that could imply something besides that it's a Naboo, like ship.
Yeah.
But I thought that would be kind of cool because it's literally the character that played Jar Jar escaping on, potentially Jar Jar's ship.
Yeah,
that'd be a cool little thing.
That brings up another good point. What happened to Grogu in between that time of him getting saved by, Kelleran Beck or whatever the fuck his name is, and then when he, I guess, arrives, or gets captured by Mando? Like, that's a lot of time in between those two things. You literally have, Order 66, so the rise of the Empire, and then the fall of the Empire. What happened to my boy?
Yeah.
That's like Luke Skywalker's whole fucking lifetime, dude. Like, what happened?
There's quite a bit of shit going on between that for sure.
Yeah, like,
So-
come on, man.
Yeah, that's a really good question. He had to be, which I thought was hilarious in that flashback in the last episode, how it was just the exact same like case you see him flying around in. I'm like, he's lived in that his entire life.
Yeah.
I'm like, not lazy at all. Not
No.
at all. Nope. There was another question people were asking about, which I don't think there's any resolution to it. I think it's just plot holes. They were asking where all the other Mandalorian ships were that we've seen all the Mandalorians, but we haven't seen any of their ships. And literally in this episode, they addressed to say, well, we don't have any ships. So there you go.
Yeah.
They don't have any
Yeah,
ships.
how did they get there then? They have to have a ship somewhere.
That's a good question, but I don't
It's
think this show is
possible,
pretty good,
yeah.
is good at answering questions or solving things.
Yeah. Honestly, if anything, the shitty answer is kind of like that, Mandalorian season 2.5, where he takes the fucking like space bus. That would be the only way that they could have possibly traveled to whatever planet they were found on. Because if they don't have ships, that's really it. And obviously, the convert has set up roots there. But it's like, okay, well, when you're done here, how do you get to your next destination? How?
Interesting, yeah.
I
That
don't
is a
know.
good question.
It's weird because, like, when we were watching the first season of The Mandalorian, even though it was only two episodes or 3 episodes really that we saw Din Djarin like supporting his convert, we realize he's the only one that's contributing to the convert. It's like Arthur in fucking Red Dead, where he brings home money in the tithe box, and Dutch is like, "We need more money if we're gonna go to Tahiti, Arthur." And then like Micah comes by and puts in like a bat wing, and he's like, "You're my best boy." You never see anybody contribute whatsoever except Mando.
Yeah.
And so it's weird now to see, here's this guy who has the Darksaber and is literally trying to help potentially, restore their home. And he's sidelined. And then you've got all these kind of followers. I don't know. There's just a lot going on that's very lazy. I know I kind of derailed there, but ugh.
No,
Yeah.
there's. I feel like there's an overwhelming ick I would say about this season where I'm like, what's going on? I said it last episode too. I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. But I think like if they're trying to get on track to something that I much more prefer, this was in the right direction.
This was definitely an improvement and by far the best episode of the season so far.
And
Yeah.
even with the episode before this, I also would think it was an improvement. So hey, maybe we're heading towards something a little bit better. I just don't know why we had such a lackluster beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And so we're on chapter 21. Do we know where the finale is? What chapter the finale is for this show, for the series or season?
I think there's 8 episodes total, right?
It would be chapter
So-
24 would be the end.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So
Fuck.
you got 22, 23, and then 24 when that gets released.
My God. Okay. Well, I want to give this an 8.
I agree.
I will follow up that notion with an 8 as well. This one's
Damn.
well deserving of it.
Look at us agreeing. Oh my goodness
Wow.
gracious. All right, sweet. But hey, if you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to leave some support for the Foundry, and we'll see you guys later on the next Mandalorian review. But until then, bye everybody.
Peace.
Bye.